Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to Gig. I'm your host, Mike Redman. In this last episode of AI and Music, I spoke with Jan Nordlund, the founder of Starmony in Sweden. They've created a tool that helps musicians and non-musicians alike create music with the help of AI, all the while protecting copyright. I hope this series has opened up your eyes to some of the possibilities available to you as a musician. So let's jump right in. What is Starmony?
Well, Starmony is an app. What you get in the app is just the tip of an iceberg. The intelligence is much also in the back end, but it's a way for music creators or soon to be music creators to express themselves through music without knowing the sort of the nitty-gritty details in a DAW, for example. It's based on that you have ideas in your head and then you want to realize that ideas in a very sort of quick and new way. But still be creative. Compared to, much has happened since we started. When we started, we there was no like this prompting solutions, but I see those solutions as other things, and Starmony is for users or creators that still want to be creative and have a creative like part as a human in the process.
It's kind. Is it? It sits somewhere in the middle. You're not a music generation tool, but you do generate music. Let me give me a case use a use case. I'm a user and I've just run across your app, or I saw a promo or whatever, and I
Yeah.
downloaded it. How would I go about using it if I was not a professional musician?
Yeah, how you do it is you find a background beat in the app,
Hmm.
or if you want to start with just a metronome,
Hmm.
and then you can actually sing right in the microphone with the headset. You have like a studio monitor with
Hmm.
your headset,
Hmm.
and then you have an idea in your head and you sing or rap your idea
Hmm.
to a beat or a metronome, and our solution will then analyze your vocals and understand what notes or you sing or try to sing,
Hmm.
and also what musical key that melody is in, and then we do this pairing with other solutions. You can work with the beat that you have selected, but you have a range of other selection to do with your vocals on. So that's how
Hmm.
you start to sort of create something, and
Hmm.
then you can select through a wide range of music options that are. They are actually in 95% created by a producer in our
Hmm.
case.
Hmm.
But what we have done is to import a lot of music in bits and pieces. So it's
Hmm.
sort of Lego blocks that will be put together around your vocals with the right timing and tempo and the right musical key. So
Mm.
in that sense, we have a big range of selection to sort of match your vocals with. So you can go like between different genres and things like that, and then you
Mhm.
can decide, okay, this is the sound I want, and then
Mhm.
you can keep on
Say,
working on that with a sort of full music arrangement.
can you talk a little bit about how you trained your system, using AI or however you did it to trained it on different voices and things like that?
Yeah, the most obvious part of where we are most obvious in AI
Hmm.
is probably the voice cloning, where we
Hmm.
have a training process that where we have enough training data from a vocalist, we can
Hmm.
put it in to our training model, and train a new sort of voice mask or voice filter.
Hmm.
We have sort of an automatic consent in the terms and agreement for this, but we also always ask the artist if they want to be part of this. So,
Sure.
or we have selected a few to be part of this.
Hmm.
So that's one area we work with AI. But we are also, I mean, we're working with AI like beat detection, and we
Hmm.
also detect maybe musical key
Hmm.
and things like that around. And we have also generated some of the music through through AI based on
Hmm.
our own training material. But
Right.
most of our music is actually done by producers, and we think there is a big value in that to have a
Hmm.
more community and work
Hmm.
with producers. And maybe we will talk about that later. I mean,
Sure.
content versus context and things like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a balance always, but we try to use AI where it makes sense and where it also yeah, where it makes sense basically.
Mhm. Jan, when for example, say I got this great idea and I sing it in and I find a track that I like and I finish producing it, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, do you distribute it as well? Are you a publishing company?
Yeah, we are actually a label and a publishing
Oh,
company.
uh-huh.
So basically, you have a complete studio with producers and a label and a publishing company in your pocket.
Hmm.
Uh, so we
Interesting.
have released thousands of tracks on the DSPs. So
Hmm.
I have a background from working with like distribution and the sort of the challenges with like quality assurance and
Sure.
also metadata and things like that. So we have built a really smooth process for releasing music.
Hmm.
Even if I think this is and we also have sort of an automatic cover art maker on
Mm.
this in this sort of release flow. So we have a really tight process for that. But
Hmm.
I also believe most of the users, some of the users are heavy releasers,
Hmm.
but
Right.
most of the users is more focused on the process rather
Mhm.
than the actual release, I would say.
Right. Sure. I think as part of the evolution would be you're going to find more talent, more and more talented people, and
Yeah.
they will naturally separate themselves from people that are using this as just a hobby.
No.
And then you might have that chance to actually, use this as a label-driven distribution method that's, yeah, that's more, I don't want to say professional, not, it's not the word I would mean, just more relevant, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, I think you mentioned when we talked before that you had a story about some how Starmony works, and it had to do with Christmas music or something. Can you relate
Yeah,
that?
I mean that's an area where we actually have manufactured some music from start with AI,
Hmm.
uh, and even that if like an experiment maybe
Hmm.
more than so we do have a large catalog of music that we have sourced through producers. So we control the music rights of those songs,
Hmm.
but still we have a deal with producers and also the vocal users to pay a royalty back to them. So we
Oh, gotcha.
basically pay 95% of the
Wow.
revenue back to creators.
That's very generous. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but what's good with having control of the copyright is that we can experiment and do different stuff. So we have actually trained all our Christmas catalog
Hmm.
in an AI model and also got back a lot of Christmas new Christmas music.
Sure.
lot of jingle bells, bells.
No, I think that's a fabulous idea.
Yeah,
Back when I owned a couple of music libraries in the past, and Christmas was always our biggest seller. And I
yeah,
mean, even myself, I've got I like the Christmas song. We all have these favorite songs, and it sure would be nice to be able to sing my own and have you as the backing track and everything, and be able to give it send it to my family. I
yeah,
think that's super cool. Let's talk about just the fidelity. So
yeah.
you'd mentioned quality control earlier, but say I've done my track and I finish it. Is it going to be broadcast quality?
It is. I mean, basically, it works like we have compressed quality of the music in your handset, in your
Mm-hmm.
device, the app,
Mm-hmm.
and then we record your vocals, and we have like a basically like a studio setup with some cleaning and things
Mm-hmm.
like that around the vocals, and you have like effects and compressor and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and uh, and when you decide to like, I want to share this or I want to release this song,
Mm-hmm.
we have everything mirrored in our backend.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's compressed in the device, we have it in full
Gotcha.
quality, wave files, everything, all the
Mm-hmm.
building blocks. So once a user decide to like, okay, I want to mix down
Mm-hmm.
or semi master
Mm-hmm.
and mix, then it's done in the backend. So with full quality.
I think that's super important. There's a lot of I won't mention any names. There's lots of music
Yeah,
tools out there today, but a lot of them are just not very high quality. They're they're actually
I
compressed.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess that's a matter of time, but
yeah.
today it actually sounds a bit crappy from I mean
Yeah.
it's you get super impressed by the result, but
Hmm.
as you say the sort of the sound quality is not
Hmm.
there.
Let's talk for a moment about where you believe Starmony is going to go.
Our focus will still be where we are today,
Hmm.
aspiring artists or users that want to start using their vocals to create
Hmm.
something.
Hmm.
But probably we will have more tools that could like enhance your vocals.
Yes.
Also the sound quality will also
Hmm.
be and more flexibility in what you can do with the. At the same time, we don't want to be a complex solution because there
Right.
are lots
Sure.
of other solutions out there. So we still need to be in line in what we believe, and I think we will be more working more with the community. We have a community,
Hmm.
but we don't have the feature on top of it to showcase it. Uh,
Oh, that's
uh,
interesting. There's an opportunity for your community to start collaborating with each other.
yeah, for example, as we talked, maybe producers can use the tool for like collaborate with
Yeah.
singers and support it in their project. I mean, we were very focused on the releasing part
Hmm.
of this when we started out, but
Hmm.
we are more moving on to like the creation part, and that's the sort of important to do whatever the creators want to do,
Yeah.
basically.
Sounds a little bit like SoundCloud. How I have lots and lots of friends that are professional musicians that just collaborate with whoever, anywhere, and they
Yeah,
make all this incredible music with people that they would never meet and they never will meet. So that's very interesting. I like the idea that you're focusing on uh, more of the new artist or the upcoming artist that's still trying to work out ideas and that you're not trying to be a tool for everybody, because there are some out there that do so much that the user gets confused early on and drops the app.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe I mean, some of our users may work with traditional music tools as well. So
Yes.
this could be, as we talked about earlier, like a advanced sketch pad and complement
Hmm.
other tools.
Do you have the ability in Starmony to export your song to a DAW?
We do have in the back end, but we
Hmm.
have not exposed it yet. So we
Hmm.
have done a lot of plumbing in the back end.
Hmm.
So also community wise. So we have it's more of sort of a user layer or user interface question.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
we're actually opening up features like that and community features since we have done the hard work in the backend. So
sure,
that is something we can do, but we have it has also been a sort of a business decision to
sure.
open up those now.
Yeah.
And before we were more like a closed system, and it was
Hmm.
important to release it in our
Right.
infrastructure. But since we are sort of moving a bit away from the record company part,
Hmm.
we are open to sort of open up the infrastructure a bit.
So that's very interesting. So tell me uh, a little bit, the short story of your background. Are you a musician, Jan?
Yeah, I started out as a music producer and songwriter back
Hmm.
in the 90s
Hmm.
and worked with that on a sort of sub-label to Universal Stockholm Records
Hmm.
for many years. And then me and my partner, we opened up our own studio here in Stockholm. So we work basically with most of the major labels,
Mm.
sing and writing for mainly Swedish artists, but also some international artists
Cool.
for about 10 years.
Hmm.
So that was exciting times. And then actually we were stumbling on a company that were providing like very early days music solution to mobile phones.
Hmm.
So this was like in the early, maybe late 90s.
Hmm.
We realized that we could use our knowledge and do something with mobile phones. So we
Oh.
started a mobile content company called Mobile Hits and raised capital for the first time in 99.
Mm.
And I mean, we thought that you would consume music in some way in your mobile
Yes.
in the future. But at that time, the only way you could do music
Hmm.
related stuff was basically
Yeah.
ringtones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
There's
we
not.
started
Yeah. It
out with
wasn't. It wasn't
ringtones.
sophisticated enough. Would you talk a little bit about the copyright and ethics, if you will, of AI generated music? Your thoughts of it about it?
Yeah, I mean that's interesting now to see where everything goes. I mean, the big services, not just in music and AI, there will be some years of like lawsuits and things like that. So we will see where everything end up. But we have been very cautious in terms
Hmm.
of that, and we have only trained on data sets of either voice or music that we completely control. And
Hmm.
I think obviously, I mean, I'm sort of on both sides. I realize I mean, I'm an ex-producer and a songwriter,
Hmm.
and I feel it's obviously not right to train on some material and make new versions. It's very hard because I mean, in one way you can compare it a bit to sampling and things like
No,
that.
no, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's the old days of sampling, Yeah.
Yeah, in one way, but in
Hmm.
another way, it's a thing that is completely new. So but obviously it's sort of a super advanced sampling
Hmm.
way of sampling. So I think there will be a lot of things happening, but I think it's important to sort of understand the worries from artists and at the same time, I think it's also super interesting, and I think it will create a lot of new opportunities for creators.
That's what
Uh,
I think. That's
yeah,
my takeaway from everything I've heard so far. There has been uh, a ton of opportunity.
yeah,
You just have to kind of open your head up and look for it. And I look at the ethics part. I was trained on Jeff Beck and Jimi Hendrix and Van Halen and this guy, and then there became my guitar style,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
look at it as being the same thing.
yeah,
You're training a model on this music and this music and this
yeah,
music, and it's creating this other new thing.
yeah,
But I can see also, yeah, where people are going to get too close,
yeah,
and to
yeah.
somebody's music, and that's not a good thing either. Is there anything else that you would like to share with my audience about Starmony? Something that we need to know or we should know about your app and your company?
Well, I think I think we try to balance this, like do it, use the newest technology at the same time. We try to understand the creators
Hmm.
from the start beginning. But I also believe that creators should not be too afraid about AI, because I think the battle will not be in creation, almost like content is king was before. Now context is king, because I mean the content, there's much content outside.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you actually need to like put your content in context. So even if I create something amazing with AI and release it, probably it won't get many streams. So I think you need to find your context for your music, if that's the goal for the music making. I mean, a lot of people make music just to feel good,
Just
and I
feel,
think,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, and that's something I see in the Starman users, that they spend a lot of time. The heavy users, they spend a lot of time in the app, even if
Hmm.
it simplifies music creation.
Hmm.
They like refine vocals and put on like choir arrangements, and they also start to collaborate. So that's pretty cool. So I guess try the app.
Try that. Yeah, it's a wonderful app, Jan, and you are an amazing guy for it because I know what it takes to get to where you guys are today. It was really a pleasure, and I think everybody should try the app too. It's easy to download. It's free to download. You get to check it out, see if that artist is really inside you, and if not,
Yeah,
we can change the voice.
yeah, exactly.